Hello, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica, and today we are going to talk about our alternating single arm 360 with a mace. Our two-handed 360 is our most basic movement in mace. It is one of our defining movements that we are always trying to achieve. Over time, we move our two-handed 360 to our 10-2, where we go one side, stop, change hands, the other side, stop, and we go back and forth, turning it into an alternating 360 essentially, but we call it a 10-2 because people like that phraseology. Over time, we remove that bottom hand from the two-handed 360 until we get to that single arm version. Single arm version is the one that we would like to be very, very good at. Now, what we are going to do is just turn this into an alternating activity. Two hands, two-hand alternating, single arm past opposite ear, and now we are going to start changing hands each rep. We are doing this as more of a brain activity than anything else. We are trying to rock our brain back and forth from firing one side of our body to the other side of our body, back and forth, and to make both sides equally pretty. We always are trying to get both sides of our body to move equally as well, each direction, because having symmetrical movement is a cheap, easy way to help us avoid injury in the future. If you're missing a movement pattern on one side, eventually you're going to find that in the real world, and sometimes that movement pattern will give up, or you will compensate. That's how people get something like a cumulative injury cycle, where they get one injury and then that injury causes another injury, which causes another injury, and they propagate. Over the course of people's lives, that is the process of aging. They get one thing hurt, so they use something else, and then that thing gets hurt, and over time, they become old by losing movement. So we are always trying to get these movements to be as symmetrical as possible. When we work on this activity, there is an interesting part. The interesting part is the hand slide. Our hand is at the bottom of the mace. We do our single arm shield cast. We have to grab above the hand that's already there. When we do this next shield cast, my hand will slide from where it is down to the bottom of the mace handle, so that this hand can re-grab as we go around the head. It slides. The slide is happening right about here for me. Different people will do the slide at slightly different times, but it's generally about the same. Top hand is going to slide to the bottom of the mace right about here, so that there is space for this other hand. Slide, grab, slide, grab, slide, grab, slide, grab, slide, grab. When you get good at this standing up, we are going to turn this into our half kneeling version of this exercise. Lead leg, rear hand shield cast. Lead leg, lead hand. Lead leg, rear hand. Lead leg, lead hand. Lead leg, rear hand. That is going to help us work on our hip movement to make each hip better and better and better. Think about this exercise as rocking back and forth between shoulder and hip, ipsilateral, contralateral, over and over and over. When you get good at it standing up, put it in this half kneeling position and work on it for time. Everybody in the Western world tends to have hip problems because we sit so much. This is a cheap, easy, effective way to make sure that we're balancing our shoulders and our hips. If your shoulders and your hips are healthy, then your spine can be healthy. It's between the two things. Because 60% of people have back pain, I would recommend that almost everybody do this exercise at some point in their training. You can put this in as a warm-up with a light weight. You can turn it into a strength training activity if you jack up the weight or jack up the time. Doesn't matter how you put it in, but think about it and put it in your training. Standing, kneeling, single arm, two hand, alternating hand, over and over and over and over again, forever.